A pro-Palestinian encampment on the campus of the University of Toronto is at a key stage today. You see, the university has issued a proposal to the protesters and has given them a deadline to respond. CBC's Megan Fitzpatrick joins us now live from that campus. Megan, I know you've gotten that response from the students, but let's begin actually with the actual proposal that the university has offered. What exactly are they saying?
Yeah, so the university made this proposal to the protesters yesterday, and they also released their offer publicly, putting it online, addressing the various demands that the protesters have been making since this encampment started. The university is offering to have some of the encampment representatives attend a meeting on June 9th with the Business of Governing Council. They're also proposing to set up an advisory committee on divestment, and the university is proposing it be made up of students, staff, alumni, faculty, and the encampment representatives can suggest people to be part of that committee. Doesn't mean they'll be accepted, but they can be suggested, and that committee would report back with recommendations to the university by the end of October. The university also proposing to set up a working group that's to address the demand from the protesters on greater disclosure of the university's investments. So setting up a working group that would report back again with recommendations on how to increase transparency by mid-July. On the demand that the University of Toronto cut academic ties with certain academic institutions, Israeli academic institutions, U of T is saying that's essentially a no-go. They are rejecting that demand, saying it wouldn't be in line with their commitment to academic freedom. And the university says they've been working to increase opportunities for Palestinian scholars here at U of T, and they will continue that work. They said that work was already underway before this encampment began. Now, in terms of the timing of issuing this offer to the protesters and setting a deadline of 4 p.m. today to accept that offer or else face trespass notices, the university has been saying all along that they believe the protesters are trespassing. Here's the university president, Merrick Gertler, speaking on Metro Morning Radio this morning about what he says are rising tensions being caused by this encampment.
The tensions that have been generated by the continued presence of the encampment have reached a point where we feel now is the time to end the encampment. The students have had ample opportunity to exercise their right of freedom of expression and their right of protest. They will be able to continue to do that, but through other means.
And he's saying if the protesters want to achieve this goal of divestment, there is a process. There are policies that the university follows. They have done that before, he has said, in cases like divesting from fossil fuels. And he says the university's been offering these protesters assistance in following that process. He says that if this trespass notice is issued and if it's not obeyed, all options are on the table. He was asked whether Toronto police would be called to clear this encampment. He said they're doing their best to avoid any police involvement. He did also say convocations are set to begin on June 3rd. They happen right over there at Convocation Hall. And he says the university is determined to go ahead with those convocation ceremonies regardless of what happens with this offer, whether it's accepted or rejected, Natasha.
Okay, well, let's get to whether it's accepted or rejected. What are you hearing from the students?
Yeah, so several of the spokespeople just answered some questions from reporters. For starters, they're not happy with how this has been playing out in terms of the timing and the process. They did have a meeting yesterday with some members of the administration where they say they were presented with this offer and they were asked for an instant response to it, which they say was unfair. And then they also are not happy that the president of U of T held a news conference yesterday while this meeting was going on. Basically, they're saying they haven't been given sufficient time to respond to this, but regardless, they also say this offer from the university doesn't go far enough, that it's not good enough, and that it doesn't meet their demands. Take a listen to one of the protesters.
This is not an offer, this is an ultimatum. They are trying to force us to accept these outrageous terms by threatening to clear us out at the same time. Again, it is clear that by their actions that the administration believes that we are inexperienced, imbecilic negotiators. Let it be on the record that it is the administration, not us, that walked away from these negotiations.
So they're accusing the university of not negotiating in good faith. They called this a joke of a negotiation. But bottom line, Natasha, are they going to accept this offer? We couldn't really get a clear answer from them. They said they are going to spend the rest of the afternoon essentially discussing their next steps.
I know you'll be watching. CBC's Megan Fitzpatrick at the University of Toronto. Thank you.